Hello, welcome to another video on digital illustration with Figma. Yes, so today I'll be making another video on digital illustration with Figma, yeah, and I will be making an illustration of a fish. Yes, so today we are still going to do our normal understanding of basic shapes and to see how we can actually make good advantage of this beautiful tool. Those are the shape tool and the vector tool and the pen tool in Figma to actually make illustrations. So I actually just good this fish and I kind of just liked it. So we're going to replicate making this. So doing some couple of traces. Although I don't encourage you tracing, right? Because as an artist or as an illustrator, you shouldn't trace. You should be able to like ideate and sketch out what's it called? Illustrations from your head or just to be playful around ideas. But of course, you can actually always trace, but you just have to be a little bit creative with it. But for the purpose of this particular video, I'm just going to trace out this fish. So I'll just duplicate it and I'll make it smaller. I'll just have it here, and then I'll reduce the opacity of this particular layer. That's image one. I'm just reduce like 20. Yeah, okay. I can now trace on this. All right, so I locked it, and so we're going to be like following the basic shape that make up this particular fish. So I'm going to tap or just go to this particular section at the toolbar and select the ellipse tool, and then just drag. All right, so you could rotate so it matches well what you are trying to like trace. So I always like to like turn on the stroke, like clicking on this plus button to actually get strokes on this particular field so I can actually outline them properly. So I'll tap enter on my keyboard and I'll start, can start moving the nodes to adjust them accordingly. All right. So you can move them one by one and select the main node, or you can just move the node handlers, and that works. Okay. And then when you're done, when you're satisfied, then you tap enter. Now you're going to do the same for the tail. So for the tail, you're going to use the pen tool. So I'll just talk you through it. So you go to the toolbar and then select the pen, not pencil, pen, and then you can now start, creating these curves. So right now I'm not actually, I'm just moving my mouse. I'm not clicking and dragging. I'm just moving my mouse. So when I get to the point I want, then I click and then I drag to actually like create a curve like this, and then I go to this particular blue spot and then I tap on that blue dot to actually cancel out remaining extended lines. Yes, and repeat the same thing, then drag to create a little bit of curve. Then I can click this to cancel this out, and then the same. So that's pretty much how to use the pen. So just getting to a particular point in the canvas, dragging it out so the node handlers can align to where you would like the line to actually appear. Yes. So a little bit of practice would do, and then close this out. So the good thing about Figma is that by the time you are done creating all those lines, you can always go back and edit them. So for you to edit them, you can just click on the move tool to actually move them around. Well, I call it the selection tool, but just terms. You can always call them what you want to call them. So I just move them about. Yes, so I think that's pretty much done. Then I can then fill it up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge these two shapes together. So I'm going to select both of them and then go to the union selection. That's a Boolean group, not union selection. Yeah, and then just union selection. That's to merge them together. And now they are merged because you can see that they have just the stroke between them are like closed. So right, what I want to do is I don't just want to like measure them. I want to actually flatten them. That means I want to make them a single vector object. So I can right click and then select flatten, or just tap Command E on your keyboard, and then we'll have this. So you can just come and then clean the nodes a little. You can tap P, can remove them, could actually just destroy them all together. So I'm just going to select um, V on my keyboard to activate the move tool, and then just adjust accordingly. And yeah, so yeah, pretty much it's just a little bit of adjustment here and there. Right. Okay. So now that we have the body, we could just um use the pencil to actually like draw the fins. Yeah, the fish fins. Fin. Yes, that's the spelling, I guess. So P, then we use the pen. So you can also use the pen. So use it. What's it called? Triangle. That's the polygon tool. If you are not actually very confident on how to use your pen, so you could just drag it out. Command E to actually flatten it, so you can manipulate the nodes. Tap Enter. Then you can use the bend tool to actually just bend them to different direction. You see, it works. That's if you don't want to use a pencil. So it all depends on the tools you're actually very familiar with, that are confident that you can use. So you could use those, but it just depends on your vibe though, like how you feeling. Yes, so we could just do that, and then we could just replicate this, and then shift V to rotate it in to actually rotate it vertically, and then we could shift to scale it up, and then we could just try to manipulate this to look like. So I'm not actually just tracing, I'm just observing the other um, lower fin of the fish, and just create the object to look pretty much similar to that. So I think I'm close, so I could just align and rotate it. So there are not necessarily any rules to actually like creating your illustration. It just depends on how easy you want things to go for you and how fast you want to illustrate them. So this is pretty much like a freestyle of how to just like you know manipulate this node to actually create these illustrations. Yes, and then we could do the same thing here. And just take this node a little bit towards this direction, and then yeah, like I said, you don't have to always like make everything from scratch. You could just duplicate and then rotate, and then that also works very fine. Okay, now that we have a basic shape, we could always just always remove that from the trace, from what you are tracing on, and then just try to work from what we have from there. So yeah, let me take the main body. Let me just do some quick renaming. So let me just call this fish body, and let me just group this as fins. All right, let me remove the stroke, and then now let's draw the eye. So I could just come here and just do some tracing. I'm trying to like get it. I'm trying to get the proportions right. All right. Okay. Um. Okay. All right. I think I have my eye. Just move it here. All right. All right. So that our fish is becoming to like take shape. But so because of time, I will not be able to like work out all of the patterns, but I think I've been able to like show you how um I think I've been able to like show you how to actually use this particular shape, the pen to actually like actually create the body. So for now, let me just give it some, just sample the colors. So we could just do a little bit of okay, eyes. Okay, I think it's all okay. Okay, I think I get it now. All right, this is way more darker. This is not. I think. Yep. All right. So yeah, let's just say once like give some other color to the tail. So I'll just show you some couple of tricks of intersection, like creating extra shape out of the object, or like cutting out a part of a particular vector object. Yes. So if I should come closer and I duplicate this, right, and I create I draw a rectangle and I drag this, right. Let me use a circle so you could see the effects I'm trying to create. So I want to create this particular portion, particular section, the tail of the bed of the sorry of the fish. So I could just shift, old shift, that select both the body I duplicated and this new ellipse shape I created, and old shift, and then select the drop down on the boolean group and intersect selection. So what this does is like it just create an extra um layer, vector layer, and just call tail, and then I could actually just fill this whatever color I want. So you could also repeat the same thing for the fin, or for the like if you want to like extract the body. So let's say like want to like give the body entirely an entire different color. You could also do the same thing. You could duplicate this, right, and then use a shape to actually draw out mouth, the fish, so you can intersect. Then we have this, so you can actually take that all the way down, and then you could just give this some other different color. So yeah, that's so like maybe in another video I'll talk about um power clipping and how you can actually like embalm other layers, right. That's like hide, like create patterns and actually like put those patterns in a particular um clipped vector outline shaped. Yes, clipped vector outline shape, yeah. So yes, in another video I think I would actually talk about that. So yeah, thank you very much for like take your time to actually see all of this process. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, where I actually drop some short design tips on illustrations and the like. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I remain Dari Oni. God bless you.